Hi, this is Mike Smith from twoaverageshows.com, and I wanted to make this video today because we're going out to a property that we purchased and closed on, and we're going out to inspect it to develop a scope of work. So what I have here is a program called MindMap or Mind Manager, and I'm making a mind map of the procedures that we go through when we buy a property. So we're going to look at this part right here, the rehab of the property, and want to just show you how we do it. So there's three parts to it. We develop the scope, we select the contractor, and then we have the utilities. And what we're doing today is developing a scope which will feed into selecting the contractor. Now this is done by our acquisition team. They're going to go through and inspect the property and establish the scope, which will help us to establish the budget. Once we have the scope, we'll give it to our contractor, who will help us to establish that budget, establish a schedule, and then we have the payment policy. Just to round it out, the utilities part. The utilities part, we'll get the utilities changed in our name and a dumpster brought to the site. Then, so here we've established a schedule with the contractor, and with that schedule, we'll have weekly inspections by a member of either the acquisition team or sales team, depending on the workload. And the final inspection will be done by a member. Payment policy, very important to have that established up front, so your contractor knows when they're going to get paid. It saves a lot of heartache on yourself. We cut all checks on Friday. And when we're establishing the budget and the timeline, we'll establish a scheduled payment for the contractor. So they know every Friday they're going to get a check. They know what that check's going to be, provided the work is done. And that's what the inspections are for. Any receipts for materials are due the same day that they're purchased, no later than Wednesday of the week if they expect to be repaid. Now, we use Home Depot or Lowe's gift cards to kind of keep, so we know what our budget is, and there's the card for it. So the money does not need to always be flowing out saying, oh, I need to buy materials. There's a gift card for it. It's already in the budget, and then we're watching the reimbursement receipts as they come back in. So that's our procedure, our mind map for our procedure. Let's take a look at our written procedure. Have it right here. Now, okay, so we have the mind map, and that's just a visual thing that we have in our office that people can look at and say, okay, this is how we do it. Now, then in our book, our procedures book, we have it spelled out exactly what I just described to you verbally with the mind map. First thing we want to do, property closes, get all the utilities turned on and in our name. Then we're arranging to have a dumpster there, because within about a week we want to have a demo crew inside the house getting the property done. The goal is to rehab it and get it occupied within this 2 to 3 months, so 60 to 90 days. 3 is we're establishing the scope of work, and we have a checklist for that. From that, we'll develop the price budget for the rehab. We'll also develop a timeline and a draw schedule, payment schedule for the contractor. All purchases to be accompanied by a receipt, and that is in there to remind everybody that's the procedure. You get really busy in the middle of a project, and you find people go, oh, I need a check for this, and you're writing the check and it goes out and the receipt doesn't come back in. Had that too many times, so we just want to lay that out for people. Whenever we can, we want to use Home Depot or Lowe's cards. It's an opportunity to help our local schools too. We buy them with script, which gives a payback to the school, and we're talking thousands of dollars on some of our rehabs, so that's some way to pay back to the community. Reimbursement and draws requests are delivered to the bookkeeper no later than Wednesday. All requests for draws to be submitted no later than Wednesday if it does not match draw schedule. Now, we have a draw schedule that says what the contractor is going to get every Friday. Changes and problems happen. One project we had the schedule all slayed out, and then they opened up the walls and found the plumbing pipes had to be replaced. That's extra, wasn't in the schedule, so we ended up having to pay the person an additional, the contractor, a change order. And procedure is get that receipt and that request for that on a Wednesday. We cut the check on Friday. All checks are written on Friday. Draws shall be based on the schedule and work completed. So it's not just, contractor's not going to expect to get a 25% draw on week 2 if he's only done 10% or 20%. And that's based on the member, either the acquisition team or the sales manager's team, going out there and reviewing it. Final payment is cut after final inspection by the LLC member. So the member of the company, either myself or my brother, will go out there and do a final inspection. And when all the punch list items are complete, then the final check is done. So that's our written procedure. For rehabbing properties, and we're going to be dividing this up and making another video that actually shows our checklist that we use for walking through the properties. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me at mike@twoaveragejoes.com. Love to hear your comments. Always looking to improve, or maybe we missed something that should be added on there. We'd love to know that. So please email us and let us know how we're doing, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.